let's solve some LeetCode problem today. So the today's problem is to remove duplicates from the sorted array. This is the problem number two, okay? And then there is number one. We will do it later or another day. The description, it's a lot, but the poem is quite simple. It says that giving an array, an integer array nums sorted in non-decreasing order. If it is sorted in non-decreasing order, it means it is sorted in decreasing order, right? We move some duplicates in place such that each unique element appears at most twice. That is the maximum number of time the same element can appear on the array. The relative order of the element should be kept the same. So we don't change anything, absolutely. Let me let's see some other example right here, right? So this is the custom judgment. Custom judge. The judge will test your solution with the following code. See, these are how the judge will proceed. This is in most likely JavaScript, but our solution will be most likely in Python, right? Okay, so let's see this one. Now, let's see. Uh, this is an example. Let's say we have one. This is an array. This is the array, okay? And let's say we have one appears three times, and two appears two times, and three. So the result should be one, one, two, two, and then doesn't matter what we left behind. So what is happening is the following. It doesn't, the maximum, as we have mentioned, the maximum number of time one element can appear on the array is at most twice, no more than that. Your function should return k equal 5 because that's the length of the return array, okay? With the first five elements of nums being 1, 1, 2, 2, and 3 respectively. It doesn't matter what you left beyond the return k. It doesn't matter what we left after that. Okay, to solve this problem, let's think about it. This is how I think about a problem like that. First, if the length of the if it is empty, what we do? That's the first thing. Okay, let's write it. If length nums equal uh 0, what we do? We return none, right? We will return none. That's quite simple. That's the first way I think about a problem when I see it. The second one is now what they ask. Okay, they ask for each element on the array to appear to for each element on the array to be appeared at most twice, right? So we need to find a way to count the number of time each element appear on the array, right? So let's choose another variable, right? Which is equal count. We say count equal one because at least we will have one element on the array. Okay, so that's the first step. Now, what we'll do else? Remember, this is the array. We will do what you call like a two pointers. We will use a two pointers. We will compare this element with this element, right? We will compare this one with this one with this one. We will compare almost like every element to see the number of times that appears the appear on the array. Remember, they are sorted in non-decreasing order. So we will use a variable called j, like j, and then initialize it to 1. So you will see the reason why. So now we will look over the array for e in range uh, 1 in length uh, nums, right? Okay. We start at 1. You will see the reason why. If num, okay, if nums at index e minus 1, okay, equal nums at index e. I show you, we will say, okay, we will say count because we see that element appears now two times. So we see one, two. So we will say count plus one. Okay, this is what we want to do. Come right here to see. Let's say we are in this array, right? And when we say for e in range 1 in length nums, right? What does that mean? That means if this element equal to this element, right? Because let's say now remember when we say for e, right? When we say for e in range 1 in length nums, that means we will start at 1, right? Until the length of the array, right? Until the length of the array. So the first number will be 1. When we say e minus 1, it will equal to 0, right? So what we'll do, okay, stay for a little bit. We will do, okay. Let's say if nums, okay, this is an example at index e minus 1 equal at nums at index e. What does that mean exactly? That means, let's say we have nums at index. What is the e equal to 1? Because remember what I mentioned before, minus 1, right? Minus 1, right? Equal. Does it equal to nums at index? What is equal to e equal to 1? Because when we put the 1 right here, it is the first number, right? So okay, so now we will check what is nums at index 0. Does it equal to nums at index 1? At index 1? Let's go to the array to check. This is nums at index 0, right? And this is 1 at index 1. So they equal, right? Okay, so now does that means we find a duplicate? Okay, so as soon as we find a number appears two times, so now we say, okay, count plus 1. But what if we there was like a 2 right here, right? There was a 2 right here or 3. What we will do? Okay, let's say else we say count still equal to 1, right? Count still equal to 1. And then now this is one of the trick. So if, okay, if count inferior or equal to 2, because the number cannot appear more than 2 times, okay, what we do, we will take the number at index j and then we assign it to number at index C. Let's see. This is what I want to say. Let's say number at index j equal nums at index e. Okay, let me show you what is happening. Remember, we assign a variable called j, which is equal to 1. Uh, okay. So now let's say we are here, right? Let's say we are here, right? Count already 2 because we already see this number and this number. And we are right here, right? You see, we are right here, right? So now count will equal to 2. So now has count we check because the number cannot appear more than 2 times. You see, more than 2 times. So we say if count is inferior or equal to 2, that means if the number that is we see on the array, if it is already if we have already seen that number 2 times, okay, what we'll do? We take that number, okay, because the number at index 0, right? It is already this number. It is already this number. Okay, we take the number at index 1 and then we assign it to number at index j. And then we will keep doing that for all the number in the array. And then at the end, we will return what they ask us to return. They ask to the return k after placing the final result in the k slot of num. Return k, which is the k which is the length of the array, right? So okay, let's return nums and j. Okay, let's try this. Okay, there is a silly mistake right here. That happens, guy. That happens. Okay, that's another error, right? That's another error. Okay, it does make sense. Let me debug it, right? That's a real debugging issue. Type is not valid value for expected return. Tap integer raise. Okay, that's a real time to debug your issue, to learn how to debug your issue. That's great. We'll debug it together, do not worry. Because I was just thinking about the process. Let's see how that happens. For E and when okay, count plus one, else count equal one. If num inferior to num at index E equal num at index J. Oh, okay. You see, the issue is we did not increase J. For example, if we have already assigned nums at index E, let's say if nums at index E, okay? Now, let's say if we are here, right? And then J, if let's say if the E is right here, is on the 0, 1, 2, 3, is on the third index, and then uh J equal to 2. So it will be right here. So these two number will, the 2 will come right here, right? So what we'll do, we should increase the number J plus 1 every time we we assign the number E to number J, we increase J. Let's see right now how that works. Okay, still issue. That's cool. Don't have to worry because that's the one of the best part of programming. So you see the issue, you see the issue with me right here. So we are trying to debug it together, right? Okay, let's try to debug it. Return nums and J. Okay, let me see, guys. Is not valid. Value is there for the expected return integer. Let me see. Let me see. Give me 1 minute. Let me see, guys, what is happening right here. Return k after placing the final result in the first k slot. Yeah. So, and then do not allocate extra memory for another array. You must do this by modifying the input array and place with O of n extra memory. Not more than that. O of n extra memory. Let's see. mm, Let's solve it together. We are trying to debug this together so we can learn, okay? We can learn something. Let's try to do it together. Return J. Oh, let's see. Waste type error is not the valid value. Let's return only J to see. Return only J to see. Okay. I return something else. It seems like I return nums and J, but we should return only the expected number, which is the length, okay? Which is the length of the num, right? So let's try to see if it works. That might happen. It doesn't work as well. Oh, okay, good job. You see, okay, the solution passed. So you see, this is how you think about debugging an issue. This is great. Okay, let's submit it. It is passed. So happy coding, guys. I wish that I did not have any issue. I did not have any bug on my code, but I returned nums. It is not what was expected. I should expect the J because J will be the length of the new array. That's the number, right? That's be the length of the new array. So now, if you do, if you want to keep on learning with me, just follow me for more.